Before we get into any of the details concerning this upcoming new moon in Scorpio, I want to ask you an important question that I hope you'll answer honestly. How empowered do you feel? That may strike you as a weird question, or maybe you don't even know how to think about it. But essentially, what I'm asking is, do you feel empowered in your life? Do you feel like you have control over your life? Or does your life more so have control over you? The answer to that question is going to make a big difference concerning the energy of this new moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is the sign of power, it's the sign of control. And those issues are definitely going to come to a head at this upcoming new moon. And not necessarily in a negative sort of way. But what is going to happen is that you are likely going to feel pushed or prodded to begin anew in a way that is transformative and in a way that changes everything that you thought you knew. So if you want to know more about this upcoming new moon in Scorpio, stick around. You definitely don't want to miss this. Hello, my loves. As always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If you're new around here, hi, hello, and welcome. My name is Mel. I'm a professional astrologer and sound therapist, and I'm the founder of Divine Feminine Works, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. So if you're new, welcome, and as always, if you are returning, welcome back. So today's video is all about the upcoming new moon in Scorpio, happening on November 20th at 1:46 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, the one thing that I love about astrology is that you can find these really interesting patterns in a variety of ways. And this new moon in Scorpio marks the first in a series of 5 new moons all happening at the same degree. So this new moon in Scorpio is happening at 28 degrees of Scorpio. And then the new moon in Sagittarius is happening at 28 degrees of Sagittarius. And then the new moon in Capricorn is happening at 28 degrees Capricorn. And so on and so forth until the final new moon in Pisces, which is the last sign of the zodiac, in March. So suffice it to say that over the next 5 months, the universe wants us to basically overhaul our lives, actually in 5 different areas of our lives, wherever Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces are in your natal chart. These are the areas of life where over the next 5 months you can plant new seeds and set new intentions. And it's kind of a double whammy because it's a new moon where that is the energy anyway, but they're all happening at 28 degrees, which reduces to 1, which is the number of initiation, the number of new beginnings. So you want to take the time right now, especially as we're beginning this 5-month series, if you will, to really get your mind right, to really understand the energy that's going to be at your disposal over the next 5 months, and to plan accordingly. And thankfully, we've got Mercury retrograde to help us out with all of this. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So before we get into all of that and a little more advanced topics, let's start with the basics: new moon energy and Scorpio energy. So, as I mentioned before, this upcoming new moon in Scorpio is happening at 28 degrees of Scorpio. And so new moons, point blank period, they're all about setting new intentions and planting new seeds. The slate is wiped clean and we get a fresh start. And in a sign like Scorpio, it's transformative. This new beginning can be very alchemical. And if I'm being honest, it could be quite challenging. Scorpio energy isn't necessarily the easiest kind of energy to work with. It requires you to get a little dirty, it requires you to do a little digging, and it requires sometimes a whole lot of effort on your part to transmute, to alchemize, to change things. And it's not unduly arduous, it's not unnecessarily hard for no reason. It's because it's getting you to overcome things that literally stand in your way. It has you facing yourself so you can get out of your own way, essentially. And that can be daunting. It can be challenging, like I said. It could be a lot of things. But that's why I opened up this video with that question. How empowered are you? Scorpio is about power, and it's about control. And if you took the time to answer that question honestly, and you sort of assessed that you feel like life is controlling you, this is going to be perhaps a very difficult new moon for you to make changes. Because everything about this moon is asking you to sort of have the willpower to have some difficult conversations, to revisit some difficult emotions, to put yourself out there vulnerability wise, or to finally just make a decision, right? And if, again, you feel like life is controlling you, it's going to be hard to take advantage of that energy. Now, I'm not saying this to scare you or to disparage you in any way. I want you to understand perhaps what you're up against. But the good news, especially if you're listening to this video, is that you can definitely turn that around. Now, understanding how empowerment works. Often it's the result of having gone through something difficult and triumphed over it that makes you feel empowered. Now, sometimes it could be that you have, a situation where someone has said something very aspiring, or someone has motivated you, or maybe someone is even the reason for your empowerment. And there's nothing wrong with that. But Scorpio really has a lot to do with personal empowerment. And I'll say this, with Mercury retrograde still happening right now, there's a lot of truth being revealed. With Mercury retrograding between Sagittarius and Scorpio, the truth is seeing the light of day. I think we're even seeing this in our own society and on the news right now. I'm not going to get into that for obvious reasons, but we're seeing that. We're seeing the truth being uncovered. And the truth indeed sets you free. And the truth can definitely empower you. That clarity that it brings, that relief that often accompanies the truth is very helpful, especially at this time, and especially with Scorpio and this new moon in Scorpio. So Mercury retrograde, and not to mention the fact that at the time of this new moon in Scorpio, 5 planets will be retrograde. This whole time period is about taking several seats. This isn't necessarily the time of action, even though we are talking about a new moon. It's a time of reflection. It's a time of gathering the strength, gathering the willpower to take action. And I want you to understand the energy signature of Scorpio to begin with. As spicy as Scorpio is, it is indeed a water sign, and water, the element of water, is feminine. It is receptive. So even though this is a new moon and you want to do all the things, all the rituals, you want to get going, you want to do all the things, this is about creating the environment. And it's creating the environment of personal empowerment that's not only going to help you and assist you with this new moon, but it's also going to assist you with the 5, or should I say the 4 other new moons that have this similar energy signature, and that'll take you into 2026. And speaking of creating the environment of personal empowerment, if you're ready to go deeper with this energy, to actually reprogram the inner environment you're creating, I made something for you. It's called the Scorpio Key, a collection of subliminal sound activations designed to help you release control, reclaim your power, and attract what's meant for you. These aren't meditations you have to do. You just press play and let the frequencies work on your subconscious. Personally, I love listening to subliminals while I sleep. It's the easiest way to reprogram my subconscious and really get onto the frequency of the things that I want. And the Scorpio Key is absolutely perfect for this new moon. Not even just that, it's perfect for the next 5 new moons, all unfolding at 28 degrees. You can use it to shift your inner world quietly, so your outer world transforms naturally. You can grab the Scorpio Key, the Transformation Frequency Collection now. The link is in the description box below. Now, Scorpio energy, like I said before, is not necessarily the easiest. It requires us to get dirty. It requires us to face things that we don't want to. And with these retrograde planets, specifically Mercury, the truth may be slapping us in the face. Wounds that we've shoved under the rug, things that we've ignored, are coming back full force. And again, it's not for no reason. Think of it as the universe sharpening you. Think of it as the universe helping you build character. Think of it as the universe helping you get over certain things, which again can definitely lead to personal empowerment. So think about that as you sit down and reflect on what you would like to see happen at this new moon, or what you want to set off at this new moon. Scorpio is, it's alchemical, it's transformative. It's also, the energy of Scorpio can very much be a catalyst for permanent and profound change. So you're going to want to take a look at wherever Scorpio is in your natal chart. This is where this is the area of life where you're going to want to sit with the energy. Think about power, control. Think about the changes that you want to make and start creating that environment within before you do anything else. All right. This new moon happening at 28 degrees, it's like a complete rebirth moment. What I love about the numerology of the number 1 is that it pushes us to look at our current circumstances and realize that we have the power to turn them into anything we wish. And that speaks directly to the alchemical nature of Scorpio. Scorpio is the great transmuter. Scorpio can turn shit into gold, essentially, right? And so what I love about that is the thought of that alone can be quite empowering. If you understand, and truly believe that this new moon has the power, not only externally, but can give you the power internally to take your current circumstances and turn them into anything that you want them to be, that's extremely empowering. So it doesn't matter what your situation looks like right now. And personally, even though this new moon is happening in Scorpio, and it would directly affect the house that Scorpio is in your natal chart, Scorpio is the sign of transformation. So even if there's an area of life not covered by Scorpio in your natal chart, you can use the energy of this new moon to change it, because Scorpio is the sign of transformation. So again, it doesn't matter what your circumstances look like. Whatever it is, you can change it if you are empowered enough to do so, if you have the willpower to do so. For some, there's going to be this need to overcome temptation. Some of us may be at the threshold of a new cycle. And I know that phrase, like entering a new cycle, a new paradigm, a new timeline, I want you to really understand what I mean by that. You are on the verge of breaking a karmic pattern, or you recently have broken a karmic pattern. And now the universe is like, all right, so I want to see, are you really committed to this new timeline, this new paradigm, or are you going to revert to the karmic pattern that you literally just left? So suffice it to say, this new moon may ask new things of you. A newfound courage, a new vision, a new sense of self, a new view of others, a new ideology of relationships or of money or whatever it is. But either way, this new moon is not going to be business as usual. And not in a dramatic sort of way. I don't mean it like that. I mean that exactly like what I said. It's going to require a new version of you. And maybe that version of you hasn't emerged yet. And you kind of got to pull it out from the depths of darkness. Or you have to literally birth it at this new moon. I'm going to say that again. For some, you may have to birth a new version of you at this new moon. And for those who have birthed children, you'll know that that shit is painful. You'll know that it hurts, it's uncomfortable, but what happens at the end? You have a beautiful baby, right? And that's sort of what this new moon promises, but it's going to be a little painful on the way there. And there's definitely nothing wrong with that. All right. But going back to the numerology of the number 1, it's newness, it's movement, and it's pregnant with possibility. I feel like that's another thing that's really empowering. The fact that it's pregnant with possibility. It's independent, it's goal-oriented, it's innovative. It allows us to take control of our future and embrace new beginning. Keyword is, or key phrase is control or take control. That's very much within the realm of Scorpio energy. It's the number of creation and the birth of all things, the divine origin of the universe, right? And with that being said, again, this new moon is going to require you to birth a new version of yourself, birth a new situation, birth a new relationship. And it's all in the name of change. And this change is of a permanent and profound nature. In terms of the astrology of the number 1, it is associated with Aries and Leo, giving it a certain spiciness, a certain main character, energy, flavor to it. Very masculine, which is expressive in nature. But remember, Scorpio, in and of itself, is a feminine water sign. And again, with all the retrogrades happening, the new moon, especially the day of the new moon, is not the time for action. Your energy would best be used to plan and strategize. The tarot card that's coming to mind, and that is associated with the number 1, is the Emperor. Now, the Emperor is not the one that's on the battlefield, right? The Emperor delegates. But the Emperor strategizes. The Emperor is the one that is plotting the course, determining how to move. And that's the energy that you're going to want to embody at this new moon. Now, keep in mind, the Emperor can be a hothead and can be quite impulsive, especially if triggered, which, if we're dealing within the realm of Scorpio for this new moon, triggers are going to be a thing. So just expect that out the gate. Let me just say that. And that Emperor can be very impulsive and reactive if triggered. But even the most impulsive actions will likely be slowed down due to all of the retrogrades that we're experiencing right now. It's not to say that you shouldn't feel what you're going to feel, but you definitely need to look before you leap. Okay? So, apart from the Emperor card that's representative of Aries, the other tarot card that is associated with the number 1 is the Magician. And the Magician is the one that makes things happen. The Magician is the ultimate manifester. And here's the thing about the Magician. The Magician is able to manifest because the Magician has all of the tools that he or she needs. In the Tarot, the Magician has the sword, the wand, the pentacle, and the cup. All 4 elements present for manifestation. And this speaks to the empowerment that I was talking about before. There's a certain wholeness that empowerment evokes, right? When you are empowered, you feel whole. And so, if you answer the question honestly that I posed at the beginning of this video, maybe you're not feeling empowered because you are not whole. Maybe you feel like you are lacking something. Mercury retrograde, especially because Mercury is going to be conjunct this new moon, can really help you understand what you are lacking, what is missing, what is standing in your way, what is an obstacle to empowerment for you. So use it as such. That's why you really should be strategizing, thinking, and planning at this new moon as opposed to just trying to do the most. Okay. So that's the numerology for this new moon. Now let's talk about the astrology for this new moon. And like I just mentioned, the new moon is going to be conjunct Mercury. And with Mercury being retrograde, this is really having us not only reminiscing about the past, but in our feelings and thinking about while simultaneously experiencing emotions from the past. So even if you have the best plans to take action at this new moon, your emotions might get in the way, honestly speaking. And so it's really important to feel them, process them, and let them go. And it's in that letting go, after processing them, of course, that you can feel empowered, that you can feel like, okay, I got this. Okay, I feel whole. I can do this, right? So Mercury retrograde again is going to have you taking several seats. Now, this could spark the need to have certain conversations with people from the past, bring up certain conversations from the past. Allow your intuition to guide you when it comes to this, especially if you feel the pull, especially if you're feeling called, especially if the universe is giving you 1,000,001 neon signs about it. Have those conversations, those deep conversations. Part of your reflection during this new moon can also be perhaps where you've been subject to manipulation, where you felt out of control, or perhaps even the relationships where power struggles are present. Scorpio is going to bring that front and center. So figure out where you stand with all of those so that you can move forward with clarity and with empowerment. Now, the new moon is also going to be trine to Neptune. And this is good. Neptune is sort of at that last critical degree of Pisces, Pisces being its home sign. This is about new goals, new dreams, right? And these dreams, first of all, pay attention to your actual dreams when you are sleeping. They'll be loaded with messages and will likely be very vivid. That's number one. Number two, these dreams aren't just going to be thoughts. These are dreams that you will feel. These are going to be stirrings, intuitive. I'm not even going to say intuitive nudges because I think your intuition is going to be much louder than a nudge. But this pull, this yearning even for something new. Don't ignore that. It's coming up at this time. If it is coming up at this time, it's for a very specific reason. Because remember, there's something about this new moon. Let me not say something. I feel like the main theme of this new moon is giving birth to the new you, giving birth to a new circumstance. Or perhaps in the case of all of these retrogrades, a rebirth. So new dreams are on the horizon, especially with this new moon trine to Neptune. So that's the astrology, or at least the pertinent or the main astrology that I wanted to highlight happening at this new moon in Scorpio. But I wanted to leave you with some channeled messages that I received when I was preparing for this video. So for some of you, this new moon has a lot to do with stability. And stability could just literally mean having something tangible. Maybe you've been working towards something for a while, or maybe you're looking to acquire something. Before you take any action toward it, make sure that you feel empowered and worthy to have it. Because the underlying thing that Scorpio may be bringing up at the time of this new moon for you is your worthiness in having this thing. Either achieving it or actually having it and holding on to it. So address that if it comes up. For others, there's going to be a need to, I'm hearing like traverse temptation. So something's going to come up to tempt you. And, the universe is going to be like, are you really on this new path for real, or are we going back to our old ways? And the temptation is it's going to look really good. It may be of a sexual nature. So choose wisely and definitely look before you leap. For others of you, there's going to be a need to be emotionally vulnerable. Some of you are waiting for the other person to show their cards and their hand before you do. And the more you do that, the more you kind of get further away from this person. Regardless of what the situation is, there's a certain amount of vulnerability that you need to engage in order to open the energetic door to this relationship. It doesn't mean you have to show your full hand or bare your complete soul, but you can't sit there with your arms folded saying, well, they have to do it first, because y'all are going to be in a standoff and nothing is going to happen. So even just the littlest amount of vulnerability will again open that energetic door to change. For some of you, this upcoming new moon has a lot to do with home, changing where you live, relocating. Some of you, I'm hearing it's like you're over your current living situation, perhaps the people that you live with, and it's time to muster up the courage to strike it out on your own. Fear is going to be a thing that comes up with that, obviously, but that's sort of your challenge to work through at this new moon. For some of you, it's time to let that old thing go. Some of you are holding on to something or someone from the past that has literally run its course. And you're holding on because it had such beautiful memories and it evokes such beautiful emotions from the past. And letting go doesn't mean that you will forget that. It just means that you're on to the next adventure. You're on to the next thing. You're on to make new memories that equally satisfy you emotionally. So don't be afraid to do so. And finally, for some of you, it's almost like the universe is going to slap you in the face with something new. And some of you are hell-bent on keeping your eyes closed for whatever reason. And that whatever reason is, I'm getting that it could be highly personal. But the universe is trying to give you something and you're just willfully resistant. Perhaps out of fear. It's feeling mostly like fear. Perhaps out of stubbornness, trying to prove a point to someone. You're only hurting yourself in the process. Opening up can hurt. Opening up can be uncomfortable. But the thing that's trying to make its way to you feels like something you've wanted for a long time. Now, it may not show up in the package you thought it would show up in, but it is showing up, or at least the beginning stages of it are showing up. So open up, be open to receiving, and you won't be disappointed. All right, my loves, that's pretty much all I've got for you for this video on the upcoming new moon in Scorpio. I sincerely hope that you were able to get at least one important piece of information that you can use going into this new moon and beyond. If you want to know how this new moon is going to affect you by rising sign, then join me over in Cosmic Collective. That's my online private community where I drop a sign-specific video. It's a video for all of the signs, but I delineate what each rising sign can experience at that new moon, full moon, whatever it is. Cosmic Collective is where all of my sign-specific videos live. So if you're interested, you can scan the QR code that's on the screen right now, or you can hit the link in the description box below. All right, my loves, thank you so much for tuning in. Happy new moon in Scorpio, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.